good afternoon, morning, or whatever it is, everybody. I'm out and about today, checking out what's around my camp, trying to see the different plants and whatnot, and doing some foraging. So, yeah, that's what I'm taking you along with me today. Wow, that was awkward. But yeah, that's what we were doing today, and let's go check out the local flora and fauna. Not even 10 feet from my camp, I find my favorite tree in the world. This is a black walnut tree. 100% it's a black walnut tree. The black walnut is actually the most prolific nutting plant in North America. Definitely the most successful. Wherever you go, they're everywhere. They're pretty resistant to disease. They're everywhere. There used to be a similar plant like this called the chestnut trees up in this area, but unfortunately they were highly susceptible to insects and diseases. And when the emerald ash borer got into Canada and Ontario, they decimated populations. So walnuts are a hard find, but the chestnuts are a hard find, but the black walnuts, they are prolific and everywhere. Now this time of year, you should actually see the walnuts growing on the tree. It could just be because it's an off year, or it could be a male tree. And it's usually pretty easy to figure out which one is a male and a female. The male trees have these, I'll show you a picture of the different flowers. The male tree have these long dangly flowers, while the female have these bulbs that turn into the fruit. But I'm not seeing anything on this one. It's probably because pollination season is over and it's just a male tree, or it could be an off year. But this probably isn't the only one in the area. Whenever you find one, you usually find 20. So yeah, that's my first objective now, is to find ourselves one of the fruiting trees. So walking through pretty dense wood, not even 20 feet away from that tree, and I found some really big, beautiful, mature versions of the tree. But I don't see them to be fruiting either. Yep, they don't look like the fruiting. They are very beautiful trees. But yeah, no, they don't seem to be fruiting. It's very easy to identify a black walnut tree. The bark always looks like this. Oops, almost dropped my phone. Got this like really nice, unique bark, and the leaves. Okay, we'll go a little bit deeper, see if we can actually find one that is fruiting. So walking through the woods here, I found a very useful plant. Not edible, do not eat this plant, it is poison. But useful nevertheless. It's swallowwort. I've always called it creeping ivy. It's known also as poison, creeping poison. Useful plant, not an edible plant. Good old creeping ivy, or creeping poison, or whatever you call it. Very useful plant, not for eating, but great for rope making and a fire starter. What happens with this is it does exactly what it is here. It reaches up and attaches itself to a tree. It seeds, then dies, and then does it all over again next year. What I like about this plant is it'll be left over for next year. The vines will stay to the tree and dry out, and they're beautiful fire starter. Or you can go as far to use it and make rope. There it is, all dried out. Very beautiful fire starter. If you take it young like this, pick her from the bottom and braid them. Grab 3 stalks and braid them and dry them out for a day or two, and you got some perfect rope. So found some buckthorn. A lot of it, actually. There's 5-6 trees right around me. Buckthorn, it's European buckthorn. It's a fruiting tree. It has edible berries. They might not be palatable for you, but very sour, almost lemony berries. They're not ripe right now, but you can still eat. They're not as ripe as they need to be right now, but they are still edible even now. Very lemony, not bitter. Extremely aromatic. As they are right now, I'd actually use that in a curry, in a Thai curry. That'd be really nice. And here's the very small one, and the bigger one, and them's the berries. And there's another one, and 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 another one. I've been walking through the woods for quite a bit, and I've spotted like 40, 50 black walnut trees just in this area. None of them seem to be fruiting. I know last year was a prolific fruiting year for the tree. Like every last tree you saw was nutting. Kind of weird how nature does that. Like some years every tree is nutting, some years one or two of them are nutting, and some years there's none. It's a shame because black walnuts are beautiful and delicious. They look, the actual black walnut fruit, it looks almost like a lemon. It smells very citrusy. You rip all the skin off and crack the nut open. You can eat it raw. It's similar in taste to green apple. Speaking of green apple, I found another tree. Everybody's going to know it once you see it, but green crab apples. So let's go take a look at that one. So I'm getting closer to the highway, making my way to the apple tree, and I found this. Some staghorn. I believe it is a species of sumac. And sumac berries are edible. Palatable too. We just gotta find some. You don't eat the whole berry. Just put it in your mouth and give it a suck. Or really good if you throw it in some water and boil it. There we go, we found some. Yeah, the funny thing about this plant is the taste. If you ever, when you were a kid, had that candy Sour Patch Kids, that's what it tastes like, Sour Patch Kids. So I wouldn't eat and swallow them. You can suck on them, a nice little flavor, or if you get the really fresh, juicy berries, cut it off, throw it in some hot water and boil it for a bit. I can't take more than 10 steps without finding more and more interesting stuff. So this is hedge parsley or spreading parsley. Very edible, and shockingly, guess what it tastes like? Parsley. Easily identifiable, white flowers. The only thing you could possibly confuse it for is garlic mustard, and even that's okay because it's edible. Seeds and the stems are edible on this. Good for salads, good for cooking. Get me to watch me shove randomly picked flowers from the forest in my mouth. And yeah, tastes like parsley. Not that parsley tastes like much. I don't even know how this is possible. I promised the crabapple tree. I know where the crabapple tree is. I'm right at where the crabapple tree is, and I've lost it. I lost a tree. How do you lose a tree? I lost a bloody tree. I lost a tree. Oh, I wanted some of those too. Anyways, there's another black walnut tree. Also not fruiting, and it's not a crabapple tree. I just wanted a crabapple. Jeez. Just a quick disclaimer, if you are going out and about and foraging, don't go shoving random plants in your mouth unless you 100% know what you're doing. Unless you are 100% proof positive that that plant is what you think it is. It is dangerous if you just go shoving random plants in your mouth. This is my hobby and I enjoy it. Even it being my hobby, I always double and triple check. If I believe it's this plant, I will go ahead and check to make sure it is with an app or something. And then I'll consider putting it in my mouth so I don't, end up dead on the ground. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for the next one.